to Advocate Today. I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist. Thank you for joining me. President Biden is planning to meet the Congressional Black Caucus about police reform. This comes nearly 1 month after 29-year-old Tyree Nichols died after he was beaten by 5 Memphis police officers. The now former officers are charged with second-degree murder. The CBC wants to meet with Biden to push for police reform legislation after negotiations fizzled in 2020 and again in 2021. The president says he is very open to discussions, but will need bipartisan support from Congress to make any changes.
Do you have any plans to meet with the Congressional Black Caucus on police reform? They're asking for a meeting.
Oh, yeah, no, of course I will. Of course, I haven't set the time
Do you still
yet.
think George Floyd Act is the most reasonable legislation to get through a divided Congress?
I think we should do it right now. We should have done it before. As you know, I did it by executive order to the federal side, but I can't do it otherwise without the help of the rest of the Congress.
The George Floyd Justice and Policing Act would set up a national registry of police misconduct to stop officers from evading consequences by moving to another jurisdiction. It also bans racial and religious profiling by law enforcement. And finally, it would overhaul qualified immunity laws. A new report shows Black taxpayers are 3 times more likely to be audited by the IRS. The authors say their findings do not suggest bias. That's because IRS agents don't know the race of those who they audit. There's also no evidence that Black Americans engage in more tax evasion than anyone else. The findings instead document discrimination in computer algorithms the agency uses to determine who to audit. Stanford, the University of Michigan, and the University of Chicago collaborated with the Treasury Department on the study. House and Senate Democrats are working together on a new equal rights amendment. It would guarantee gender equality for women and men. It was first put forward in 1923 by Alice Paul and Crystal Eastman. The proposed amendment would add gender equality as a constitutional right. Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley talked about why changes to the ERA are needed now.
Together, we stand for equality. Because for far too long, women have been subjected to second-class legal status by the courts and in the law. It is long past time the Constitution affirm our equality in the eyes of the law. The ramifications run deep as women face daily sexism, pregnancy discrimination, pay inequities, sexual violence, and legislated attacks on our bodily autonomy and more.
The amendment will need approval from 2/3 of both chambers of Congress. The College Board is defending the AP course on African American Studies, which was rejected in the state of Florida. The College Board released the framework details, the course content, and what students will encounter on the course's exam for college credit. It will cover 79 topics over 28 weeks, ranging from the early African kingdoms to slavery, the Jim Crow laws, and the civil rights movement. The achievements of Black Americans in science, music, art, and more will also be taught. The course has been praised by academics and historians, but has come under fire from conservative lawmakers. The Advocate channel is celebrating Black History Month. Today, we want to spotlight choreographer and advocate Alvin Ailey. Alvin Ailey was born in the heart of Texas in 1931. His experiences in the rural segregation-era South inspired his work as a dancer, director, choreographer, and activist. He founded the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater in 1958 with the mission of enriching American modern dance and preserving the African American cultural experience. The company served as a haven for Black artists, and it thrives to this day. Ailey posthumously received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2014. Thank you for joining me on this Advocate Today. We advocate for all with our content and coverage. For more Black History Month updates and coverage that advocates for you, open the Advocate channel wherever you stream or online at advocatechannel.com. I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist, and I'll see you next time.